Hey there, Seb Frey the Realtor here, and in this video I'm going to address the question, should I stage my Bay Area home when I go to sell it? If you're wondering if you need to stage your home, then you definitely want to watch this video. Alright, well before I get into all that, I just want to say thank you so much for clicking on the link to watch this video. I will of course do my best to bring you tons of value for the time you will spend watching it. But would you do me one huge favor? Would you mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? I sure would appreciate it. The question of to stage or not to stage your home before you put it on the market is as old as time itself. Well, maybe not quite that old, but it's a question that many homeowners have asked themselves ever since staging became a thing. Listen, when it comes to staging, the first thing to understand is that the way that you sell your home is nothing like the way that you actually live in your home. The way you present your home to buyers oftentimes does not look at all like it does when you yourself are living in the home, waking up there every morning and having dinner there and going to bed every night. They are completely different things. And so when we talk about staging, for me, it goes way beyond just like renting furniture or decorations or like moving about your current existing furniture, to have the best distribution within the space. To me, it goes way beyond that. It's really about how you present your home in its entirety to the buying public. So that includes things like changing the landscaping, freshening it up, maybe painting, maybe, certainly decluttering, moving things out of the home to create more of a sense of space, changing the window coverings to bring more light in, or maybe removing the window coverings entirely, or changing the actual light fixtures and even putting in brighter light bulbs. Doing like a deep clean and, maybe replacing some flooring or, the list of things you could potentially do to your home to improve its presentation, to, appeal to more buyers, to make them, appreciate the space more. To me, all of those things really kind of fall under the label of staging a home. And should you do those things or should you not do those things? Should you sell your home completely as is without a thought to any of that? Or should you do a lot of that work to, stage your home and make it look as appealing as you can given the time and resources available before you put your home on the market? You know what? I'm going to say that there is really no one right answer to that question, but many people, of course, do in fact see significant higher prices and a return on the investment in getting their home ready for sale in those respects. But when it comes to actually staging in terms of like the placement of furniture and decorations, a lot of people, wondering at the end after you've done all that preparation for your home, do you actually need to stage it? Well, I will say that almost every single time that I list a home for sale, I do in fact bring through a professional stager or an interior decorator. See, most stagers actually have two lines of work. One is staging homes. The other one is doing interior decoration, like consulting with clients on, the kinds of furnishings and colors and the placement of furnishings around their house just for day-to-day living. But I will bring through a stager and we'll look at the property and they'll actually work with me to like suggest, okay, well, we do want to change some lighting fixtures or flooring or paint colors and, things like that before we actually talk about the distribution of furniture and which particular furnishings should be in the home. And a lot of the times we will work with the owner's existing furniture. So it could be that we don't actually have to bring in any additional furniture. In fact, a lot of the times we will actually look at removing the owner's furniture, especially if the owner is actually going to be living at the property while it is on the market. Not all stagers will want to bring in their own furniture for an occupied home. Many of them just won't do it because they're worried about damage to the property. It could be there's a pet, or it could be that you're eating on the couch or something like that. So a lot of stagers won't do that. Some stagers will, and certainly I know a number of stagers who will in fact do and owner-occupied staging. So don't think, though, that staging means you have to get rid of all your furniture. In many, many cases, it's really a blend of your current furniture and furniture that is brought in. Now, sometimes when an owner has actually left the building, moved away, they've taken all their furniture with them, or at least all the furniture that they want to keep, the stager will come in and bring in a whole suite of furniture into the property to sort of, show folks, the proportions of the room and the purpose of the room and how it could be best utilized by the potential buyer. So now, should you actually do that? Should you actually rent the furniture and do the whole full staging process, which I think many of you are thinking of when you think of the word home staging? And the answer to that is it certainly depends. Not everybody stages homes. In fact, nationally, only about 1 in 5 homes is actually staged with a stager's furniture. Most people don't actually do that. So don't think that everybody does it, because everybody does not do it. But should you do it? If you ask the staging companies, they're certainly going to say, yes, you should. And in fact, there are numerous statistics out there which do point to the benefits of having a stager. Unfortunately, many of these statistics that you see bandied about are really just people's opinions. They're not actually based in any kind of hard academic research that one person could actually point to say, Yale University or Stanford did a study on home staging and this is what they found. So while I don't have any actual academic studies that I can share with you about the benefits of staging, I do have some sort of more anecdotal data to share with you. And that is that realtors were surveyed, and 38% of buyer's agents felt that the staging that was done did in fact spur their clients to offer more money than they might otherwise would have. So that's interesting. And also 41% of listing agents felt that by staging their homes, they actually did get buyers to pay more. The National Association of Realtors, though, they do show that in their own studies that 23% of homes which were staged sold for an average of 1 to 5% over asking price. And that may not sound like a lot around here in the Greater Bay Area, where many homes often sell from 1 to 5% over asking price. Nationally, people do not see usually full price on their home, so to actually have that much of an increase nationally is actually fairly significant. I do wish they were a little more dialed in their range. 1 to 5% is a pretty big range if you ask me, so but that is a number that I was able to research for you. One big concern with staging, of course, is the cost. I think that if staging were free, if you could have a stager come in magically and stage your home for free, that probably a lot of people would in fact stage their homes, much more than 1 in 5, maybe 4 in 5 would if there were actually no cost whatsoever to it. So how much does staging cost? That is a very good question. So it really depends on the size of your home, the location of your home, and the kind of staging that you want to do. But typically in the Greater Bay Area, staging is going to cost anywhere from $3,500 to $5,500 for your typical 1,000 to maybe 2,500 square foot home, somewhere in that range. The larger the home, the more rooms that you stage, the higher the cost is going to be. It's certainly possible to spend $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 possibly staging a very large upscale home. But I think most people are going to be looking at $3,500 to $5,500. That is usually somewhere between 45 and 60 days worth of staging. And if you need it staged longer than that, they'll typically assess you a monthly fee, which is usually somewhere around half of the initial staging cost. So one question though is, do I actually need to stage all the rooms in my house? And that's a very good question. And the answer is no, you don't. And in fact, many times people or agents do not stage all the rooms in the house. But what's the most important room to stage? Well, the most important room, if you ask a lot of realtors, they're going to say it's the living room. That is the most important room to stage, followed by the primary bedroom suite, and that is also very important to stage, followed by the kitchen, super important to stage the kitchen actually, and the dining room. And also this one is oftentimes overlooked, but you must stage the outdoor space, in my opinion, because here in the Greater Bay Area, I mean, like, it's the weather, right? I mean, like, the weather is what keeps so many people here putting up with the astronomical home prices and the traffic, of course. So we really want to make sure that the outdoor space is, in fact, looking as hospitable as possible. So the truth is, there really is no one right or wrong answer should I stage my Bay Area house, because there are so many different approaches to staging. There's so many different degrees and types of staging that you could possibly do to your home. And in fact, many people don't do any staging whatsoever. And with the right amount of marketing and negotiation and a great pricing strategy, they are in fact able to get a really good result on the sale of their home without doing any staging. But the truth is that if you do some kind of preparation for your home, generally speaking, you are in fact going to sell for more money than you would if you didn't do any of that at all. All right, well, listen, if you want to talk more about staging, of course, you know what you can do. Here's my number at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and shoot me a text message or call me anytime. I'd love to talk to you about your situation and how you can make the most on the sale of your home here in the Greater Bay Area. All right, that's all I have for this video. I do hope you have enjoyed watching it. And if you have, you might also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do check those out. And also, don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you would. All right, that's all I have for this one. Thank you so very, very much for watching, and please stay tuned.